was just asking Mike.
Yo,
Caitlin Clark it was the lead.
This couple of weeks been crazy, man.
Yeah,
for the WNBA.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so
I'm interested to hear what y'all think about these trades, but go ahead.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We could tap in on all that. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that Caitlin Clark situation, man, I didn't know. I just heard about it, and you know what I mean. I thought like the guy was exaggerating, like when he was talking about the foul, the Alyssa Thomas thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what y'all think though? Do y'all think it was did she get enough suspension time, or was it, you know what I mean? What y'all think about the foul that really kicked everything off?
Well, I didn't watch the game, so.
Now I'm talking about just that. Did you see the clip of the foul?
Yeah, I saw the clip. Yeah. I saw a couple of things out there. This is one guy, man. I want to give him a lot of credit. His name Fly Hippie. That's his channel name. And I like what he does because he slows everything down. He breaks things down and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, if you're trying to clean the game up, eventually you got to start somewhere. And of course, with her, she was going to be in the middle of any kind of change because when you get called to bring about change, you get offered up sacrificially. So a lot of things is going to be surrounding her because she got all the eyeballs. So, Alyssa Thomas is known for hurting people. She hurt Fee last year. Her and Aaliyah Boston got into it in Unrivaled. She's a real physical player because her skills are limited.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, if they felt like they needed to suspend her, send a message, it's good for business. Regardless if it was intentional or not, it's good for business.
Is she dirty, Clayton? Would you label her a player? Would you label her a dirty player?
I think she gets away with a lot of physical play that could be deemed dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's her intent to be dirty. I can't, I'm not in her head. But I know what she did to Fee last year. That was rough. That was hard to look at. And now Fee is out most of this year. She's a star player. She had to get 2 surgeries. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. And then she actually, Angel Reese rookie year, she picked Angel Reese up and body slammed her. That's not basketball to me.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's dirty. And the reason why I think she's dirty is because the league allowed her to get away with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like she, this is the first time that I know of that she been suspended though. But when she put her knuckles in that girl's neck, I was like, and somebody said like when you fall, you trying to brace yourself. You don't brace yourself with your knuckles.
You don't.
You know what I mean? You catch yourself with an open palm or catch yourself with your hand, right? So that go out the window right there, man. So, but I think they suspended. I think they did the right thing.
Can I ask the question though, just to be the advocate on the other side of that coin?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it the favorite type of basketball we love and we want to see come back is the style of basketball that was played in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, where that physical type of gameplay was part of basketball? And now that we're seeing, because let's say this, because the WNBA is looking more and more like the NBA from the 80s to 90s as the NBA progressed it, where, a hard foul was a hard foul, and we appreciated hard fouls. We appreciated people like Charles Oakley and Ron Artest and all those guys that that was the brutalizers of the team, as we call it, that would use every foul they had to use to make sure the basket wasn't scored. So now that we kind of seeing that coming towards the WNBA, and we kind of regressing back to where as though it should be a clean game, or are we looking for a game that's more physical? Now the WNBA, the light is on now.
Yeah, I mean, I like the physical play, right? Even in the NBA, I remember. But when you cross the line, I just think that you should get penalized.
Right.
Remember when James, what's the guy name? When Meta World Peace, when he hit James Harden with that elbow. You know what I mean? Like plays like that, you got to legislate that kind of stuff out of it, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. No,
I mean, and I think that you know, a lot of the WNBA play. Like I think Caitlin Clark can play through tough physical competition and still be effective, right?
Yes.
So, and I like that because that means like whatever you get, you're gonna earn, right?
Yeah.
So that part of it is cool, but when you land on somebody's neck with your knuckles, that's a little bit different.
But man make a good point. Man make a good point. It's a fine line between tough physical play and dirty. You understand?
Right.
I think that's a fine line, though. Yeah.
Let me take you guys back to when Rudy, the coach of Houston, when he was a player.
Mm-hmm.
And he get beat up, assaulted real bad in the face and stuff like that. Remember that play?
His whole face got
yeah. Right. And we go back to when just different acts like that. Like even during those times, nobody liked seeing that.
Right.
That was just nasty. You know what I mean? Like, and I think Lisa Leslie said it better. She said we played physical, but we wasn't trying to hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's one of them things, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I just think, physical play is one thing and it's good, but not dirty play. So, and you're right, it's a fine line, but it's like Mike said, like when do you try to brace your fall or get up using your fist? Even though she wasn't on her neck long, it's still,
you never do that. That was all intentional purpose to take out the best player in the game. So I'm gonna use my foul to take out the best player in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what that was. But we gotta see the fact that the physicalness of the WNBA is now in the light because they are being physical with the WNBA's top star. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's no doubt about it now. People are treating Caitlin Clark like she's the villain of the WNBA. The players are. Okay? And they're going to do whatever they take to make sure Caitlin Clark doesn't get that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in the league didn't like Michael Jordan at first. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole bunch of people that didn't like Michael Jordan. A whole bunch of people that didn't like Kobe. A whole bunch of people that didn't like Shaq. Half of Shaq was real. They used all 15 fouls if you had 3 centers on your team to punish Shaq. So that's the style of play that,
They wasn't trying to hurt Shaq. They was just sending Shaq to the free throw line because he couldn't make them. They wasn't trying to hurt Shaq.
But
you couldn't hurt Shaq. I mean,
but like I said, it's a difference, right? When you look at like Mike will play through a hard foul, Kobe will play through a hard foul, right? But when you start like the play with Kurt Rambis, when Kurt Rambis got clothesline, right?
Here's another one. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's beyond, in Detroit when you knocking Mike to the ground or you grabbing Mike around the neck and trying to make it seem like it's a like you doing him a favor. But when you grab somebody jumping, you grab him around the neck and the shoulder area, that's damn near clothesline. What Kurt Rambis got, right? So but like check it out though. Do you think like all right now that the women got the raise, the WNBA players got the raise. Now they say like Caitlin Clark ain't getting no. It wasn't all on her either though. You know what I mean? Like some people might seem like all right, well, she not the only reason why we got this raise. The WNBA players, but now man, it seems like the league and her team is really just disregarding her.
Yeah, I think that's a misnomer. I think that's a misnomer and a misconception.
Yeah.
They take isolated incidents like these content creators, they creating these narratives based on what they want to believe. But I don't necessarily believe that's the case. I think she's got an exceptional relationship with Leah Boston. I think she's got a great relationship with Kelsey Mitchell. I think she's got a great relationship with Lexi Sophie. A lot of them players on the team. But what happens is like you got these content creators like Jason Whitlock. Right now, he's spewing this idea that the other night she quit on her team. Yeah. And she didn't quit on her team. He takes one clip and he drives his narrative. But if you watch the whole game in the first quarter, now this is what the kid Fly hit me. I give him a lot of credit. He showed where she was laboring. She took a charge, Mike, in the beginning of the game against Alyssa Thomas. And that charge knocked her off her feet. I mean, it was brutal. She got up, she kept playing. Then she got ran into again by Alyssa. And then one girl hit a 3, and the other girl was running up the court and for no reason threw an elbow in Caitlin's chest. So she's getting this, right? But this is not the whole league treating her like this. So then she comes down and you see she's laboring. This was in the first quarter. So when she go back on defense, she raises her hand up to the bench and she's asking for a sub because something was wrong. So then in the first quarter, when they finally got a chance to sub her out, she went to the locker room. But Jason's making it seem like she went to the locker room and quit on her team in the third quarter. She went to the locker room in the first quarter. So I believed in that incident, because she's been doing this all year. Instead of sitting on the bench, she takes the time to go to the back and see if she can get some treatment just in case she's going to come back into the game. I believe that's what happened. But I don't believe the whole league. I know she got a great relationship. Kelsey Plum was on the show talking favorable about her. Fly J. Johnson, when they played, hug, love, Cameron Brick. So I just think that's a whole bunch of narrative out there. Yeah.
Did she ever return to the game when she went?
No, she didn't come back. She didn't come back. She didn't come back. I think they wait. It was a long delay. They was like, why did it take so long? He was saying they was coming up with a story. I think it took so long. They was trying to get her right. And then if she wasn't going to be 100%, they just said, all right, just stay out this game. It ain't worth it. That's what I believe happened.
But see, let's be realistic with it, though. Let's be realistic with it. Shouldn't she be the villain to everybody except for Indiana fans?
I mean, the villain,
but like when Jordan comes to New York, do we expect New York fans to cheer for Jordan beating their Knicks? No. I mean, we don't expect that to happen. You know what I'm saying? When Kobe goes to another city and beat up on their team, do we expect their fans to be like, yeah, go Kobe, you beat the shit out of our team? No. She should be the villain in every city she goes in and plays their team. Because she's that good.
Yeah, and you make a good point. In between the lines, but I'm referring to the league is disregarding her now. I just don't believe that's
as a league, right? As a league person, yes. She needs to be out there. That's no doubt about that. But from a fan's perspective, I like a game, but if she comes in to take on Washington, I'm hoping Washington tears the fur off my ass.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's just competition and love of your team, of your own team.
Right.
So Jason Whitlock, like you said, Jason Whitlock, I don't understand his philosophy when it comes to journalism skills. You know what I'm saying? Is he being a real journalist, or is he trying to get clicks and views?
No.
Okay.
At this point, because he's not covering the sport anymore. Right now, he's taking content out there and he's letting that back up his point. He's trying to break things down for the viewer. Y'all not paying attention. This is what's really going on. You know, it's a bias thing. You know, it's all good though. It's entertainment.
and unfortunately, that's what it turned into. Entertainment without substance.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's exactly.
So, my man Reese Family Love say, Mitchell Hayes Clark, all fake love, right? And see, I'm getting ready to ask this, right? Like when if you on my team and if I'm on your team and I see you get fouled like that, we gonna respond as a team. Like what happens to that? Like, you know.
Well, the Monday night they did respond when they saw it. That night it was in the backcourt, so the ball was out. It was something different going. It wasn't like that. So yeah. Like I say, I don't. You know, you don't want to. If you in the ball game, she kept playing. She came back in. It didn't take her out. That play didn't take her out. They was in the battle. Then when she left in the third quarter, because she had made a turnover and she couldn't get back down the court. She was running slow. So Stephanie called a timeout. She was upset because she didn't get back on D. So she brought her out. But a lot of that was because she was laboring, I believe. So with that being said, you ain't going to throw the whole game away. And especially Monday night when Mahisha Hines, whatever, she got ejected for going back and forth with Alyssa, because they played 2 back-to-back games. She got ejected, and Sophie got text. All these players got text. So the next night, you're trying to win the game as opposed to getting into all that again. You know. Yeah. So I don't believe Kelsey hates the girl at all. I just don't believe that. You know, their styles may not be meshing, if you want to say that, but I don't even believe that because I watched those two girls play off each other well. So I don't necessarily even believe that, you know, but, you know, that's how it is out here in these YouTube streets.
Do y'all feel like all right, so look at how what's the other young lady that for the Waynes, Paige Becker, right? Do y'all think they like people respond to Paige Becker the same way they respond to Caitlin Clark? Or is it
No, Paige ain't Caitlin. Paige ain't brought. It's not a call on Paige to change the league. Whenever it's a call on you to make change, you kind of get offered up sacrificially. You can look at leaders in the past, Martin Luther King's, the Malcolm X, like people that's brought on to bring change to something. They're going to be crucified. They're going to be targeted. That's just what it is. You know,
that's a hell of a comparison you make, brother. That's Tommy Hearns' reach right there, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if
no, it's not a reach. It's just what I'm saying to you is anything. That's money. That's corporate money. I don't care how big or how small. When something's brought on to bring change, that person is going to get sacrificed, regardless. Like Tom, I'll give you another example. Tom Brady. Tom Brady was brought forth to change rules in the NFL, not consciously by man, but that's a divine thing that's happening. So once you hit Tom Brady below the knee, the rules change. He got offered up sacrificially. Now you got to not do that anymore. We got to clean up the sport. That's the point I'm making. I'm not comparing Caitlin to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. Okay. I'm saying change creates sacrifice, and somebody gets offered up sacrificially.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but so my question is, how is Caitlin getting offered up sacrificially then? How is Caitlin getting offered up then? What is Caitlin doing is changing the rules of the game.
Well, this is getting ready to change. You getting ready to see it. That's the first time probably a player got suspended after that. Now you're going to have the referee. It's a magnifying glass on this. So now you're going to start seeing rules be implemented during the offseason to create even more change. You know, she already changed the viewership. She changed the money.
No, but that's
travel.
That's different. That's different. That's different than changing the rules of the sport. She just caught a hard foul from a person that wanted to foul her hard. You know, that's what that is. That's been part of basketball since the creation.
Yes, but
the only reason, and I'm gonna tell you this, the only reason we're talking about it is because it happened to Caitlin Clark. If it happened to one of her teammates that's the center, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's going to create any change about it. It's just going to make us aware that we're going to pound on Caitlin Clark.
Well, watch and see, because never before has Alyssa Thomas ever got suspended, ejected, or fined for a dirty hit. This time she did. Also, you got commentators that's covering the sport, Lisa Leffler and them saying, okay, the league must clean the game up. So we're going to sit back and see what happens.
Now, listen, right? Let me interject, right? And
yes, please do.
Boomer Esiason said that Caitlin Clark should leave, right? Should pack her bags and leave and go overseas, right? And I was just asking Mike before we went live. I was just asking Mike, like, does that hurt Caitlin Clark or does it hurt the WNBA or both? What y'all think about that?
Man, go ahead, Mike. Please.
No, I think it hurts both. Caitlin Clark, she make a lot of money from this market over here, right? So and I'm sure she got international appeal, but I just think that her, I think that would hurt her and it would hurt the league. But for some reason, I just don't think that the league is acknowledging like her impact on the league. I just don't, because you don't wait until her third year of going through this, and then now all of a sudden you want to suspend people. You know what I mean? Like she been getting this treatment from day one. So I'm just not buying into that. Like they, all of a sudden that they're going to change it, or maybe they're going to be changing it because of the like the outcry, like public outcry. But I think like from her base, that outcry has been there, from day one.
Yeah, but now you got
Yeah,
a bigger investment. Now you got a bigger investment in the league. Now you got television networks that's really invested. Her first year, they weren't. The first year created some of that. Last year, she didn't play. She only played 13 games. So you got to wipe that off. And now you got corporations, television networks. You got USA, you got ESPN, you got CBS, you got NBC, you got Prime, you got the WNBA, all these networks invested. So now you're going to have to clean the sport up, because when the girl ain't on the floor and when your stars aren't on the floor, viewership drops. So I think now it's pressure on them to clean it up.
Are they really invested though? Do you think the league and the sponsors are really invested? Because look, Caitlin Clark, her shoe's supposed to drop in October. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
I know.
All right, so her shoe, but this her third year in the league. So if like time is money, you strike while the iron is hot. You know what I mean? So now you wait until her third year, and then you're going to drop her shoe.
You think it's too
So
late?
listen, I don't think that. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I was just asking Mike. Did he think they should have been dropped the shoe for it? That's what you were saying, Mike.
Yeah, like how is Nike is like the biggest tennis shoe seller in the world. How it take you 3 years to get her shoe out there, and she high as fish grease?
In my opinion about.
They ain't do that with LeBron. Ahead, LeBron, he ain't like 3 years in, you gonna drop some LeBrons.
But you gotta understand this. Sometimes when it comes to marketing, the Caitlin Clark shoe will sell, but what is the target audience it will sell to? That's what you gotta look at. The longer she's in the league, the bigger her brand grows. So if you look at it when Caitlin Clark first came in the league, her target range was not as big as it is now, because she's wasn't as known worldwide as she is now. She keeps getting bigger and bigger. Nike can't go after that range of 16 or 24-year-old woman, okay, basketball star. They want to go after everybody. They want to see dudes wearing her shoes. You know what I'm saying? So that's at that point. Now you got to really get together a marketing strategy to make sure Caitlin Clark resonates to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not just to a certain demographic, but she has to register to everybody now, from Nike to say, look, this is what we're looking for in the Caitlin Clark shoe. This is what we want to accomplish. How do we do that? Now, if they bought her shoe out in her very first year, her demographics is really small. She was hot, but how hot is she to sell $150 sneaker to the broader audience? You know what I'm saying? That her when she first came out, her sneaker mail only sold to the basketball young women that's coming up between the ages of 16 and 24. You know what I'm saying? How many adult women would have wore her tennis shoe? How many WNBA players?
I think an excellent point saying that, because like you said, and then like you say, if the sales, wouldn't have been what they thought it was, they would have said the shoe was a flop and things like that. You know what I mean? So no, man, you make a good point saying that they wanted to reach a broader audience and everything. And like Mike just said, tap into the international fans and things of that nature. Right. So no, that's right, man. That's a good point you make. That's a good point.
And Mike, look, at this point, hey Mike, at this point, would you buy a pair of Caitlin Clark tennis shoes?
I'm gonna say that none of the tennis shoes for men or women right now I wouldn't buy, because I'm old school. I wear high top sneakers. You know what I mean? But only person got some sneakers that I seen I like was Cade Cunningham. I don't even know if they out yet. I just seen them, advertised. I don't know when they're gonna hit right, but not not these low cut sneakers, right? But let me just say
Mike, real quick too. It took them years to bring Asia's out too, because when they first came out and she got the Nike deal, they thought Asia didn't have one, but she did. Caitlin said it herself that she didn't want to rush a shoe out. She wanted something that was really going to have mass appeal to it. So they may have just taken their time to design something quality.
Well, I mean, they could say that, but marketing is like a snowball effect, right? When something first hit the market and there's a demand for it, and then people start to see it, you get familiar with it, and then other people are going to want to go ahead and get it too. You know what I mean? So it kind of like grow on you. That's in everything, even like with music. You know what I mean? Like you might go somewhere and you might hear something, or the first time you hear about a group or something, you like, oh man, they cool, and then it'll spread. It grows and it spreads, right? If it's really like that,
right? But you gotta look at the market, the way the market is now, and the way that you look at things when you packaging things together. Let's take example of the Jordans. When the Jordans first came out, they were great tennis shoes, but who really bought the Jordans when they first came out? You know what I'm saying? But now look at the success of Jordans now. They rebranding Jordans every other 3 to 4 years from the old Jordans to bring them back again, because now the brand is bigger. People look more forward to it. So sometimes you got to hold off.
You make my point then, man. You make my point.
No, but right. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, when Jordans first came out, okay, they were urban style tennis shoes that were in the urban markets. Okay. Now, if Nike could have put urban as well as everybody else together, they would have done that. So sometimes your early things that you learn from keeps you from making the same mistakes. They probably, like I said, said, you know what? We could sell a lot of her tennis shoes, but if we do it this way, we can sell a lot more to different demographics. Which way do we want to go?
Let me say this, because you make my point. When Michael Jordan first hit the league, he was hot as fish grease. No matter what size his demographic was or what size his audience was, Nike capitalized on that, right? And so everybody went out and people just was getting the Jordans. Now, this generation, like we got kids now who buy Jordans who don't know nothing about Michael Jordan, but they, you know what I mean? It grew. It still grew, and it's spread, right?
But look how long it took Nike to become number one after they signed Jordan. Another 10 years. It ain't like soon as they put the Michael Jordan tennis shoe out, they became the number one sneaker company. That's not how that happened. You know what I'm saying? Jordan didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just focusing. I don't know, like this. I'm not speaking to the size of the company and how long it took them to grow. I know that as soon as Mike was hot, Nike struck. You know what I mean? Like he was hot as fish grease. And now
everybody wanted him.
Mike
everybody wanted him.
Right, everybody wanted him. And so it just spread. It continued to spread. And you got kids who buying Jordans and just, you know what I mean? They never even got a chance to. They might see some YouTube or something, but they never got a chance to see Mike. But you know what I mean? These kids got them sneakers.
They're not buying the shoes because they're not buying the shoes because of Michael Jordan's athletic prowess anymore. The shoes were made, and they made so many different designs that they became part of pop culture. And because they're part of pop culture and style, that's why they selling the way they selling. So with sometimes, and Caitlin was hot as fish grease. And what Nike did was, until they came up with a quality shoe that possibly could become part of pop culture, they put other prototype shoes on her and made money off her popularity, like the Kobe prototype shoe and stuff like that. So I just think that it was strategically done in terms of we can sell some other stuff off of her, and then we create a shoe that possibly could take off in pop culture.
Because let me ask you a question. How many other WNBA women have their own shoe line?
I know.
I know
4. Yeah. I don't even know.
So we have 4 women that have their
Asia, Springer, and Caitlin. Go ahead.
So when you look at that, how many of them are successful launches right now? Because Caitlin Clark hasn't launched yet, but the rest of them, Angel Reese, Reebok came out. You don't hear nothing about them. You don't hear nothing about Angel Reese.
I think Angel Reese shoes are popular. Those little pink shoes she got, they pretty popular against a certain fan base. Now, why didn't Reebok follow that same model? You know what I mean? Like Reebok should have been like, all right, well, we're gonna wait until Angel get even more popular, and then that's not how sales and marketing work.
Well, if you look at
because look at what you just said, Mike. Angel Reese tennis shoe is popular among a certain demographic.
Right.
Okay. I've never seen Angel.
Her fan base.
Right. So I've never seen Angel Reese tennis shoe on anybody in the basketball world. I don't even see her wearing her shoe.
She wears them. She wears them.
Like I said, I've seen a couple games where I haven't seen her wear. I've seen a couple games where I've said, okay, that's cool. But what I'm saying to you is this. Reebok went after what she had at that time, and okay, she may be doing okay about it. Caitlin Clark is worldwide. Okay, you can't just do okay with a Caitlin Clark line. Okay, that has to be great or it's considered a failure. If Caitlin Clark isn't the number one shoe when that drops, what do you think the fan base of Nike may say?
Caitlin Clark was when they dropped those Kobe's and Caitlin Clark was on there, they sold out like in what they said, like 10 minutes or something. That was that right there was a test market. And how long ago was that? It was like a year and a half ago when they dropped those shoes for Caitlin Clark and Kobe Bryant, right? So you have that test market. You already know her shoe going to sell. You know,
you had the Kobe Bryant's dropping.
I was trying to get them and I couldn't get them. They were
right,
sold.
right, yeah.
No.
But they the Kobe Bryants though.
Right.
No, but
they're the Kobe's. The Kobe Bryants.
They test that market and them shoes because of her name. She was affiliated with them shoes. They sold.
I'm gonna tell you this, and Jordan, and listen, and I'm gonna tell you this, and you can. These are facts. Jordan has that Jumpman line. It's his line. Mm-hmm. Okay, that doesn't do half as good as his Nike line.
Nowhere near.
But Jumpman is his.
Yeah, I say nowhere near.
Jumpman is his.
Nowhere near. Yeah.
Right. But you know that Caitlin Clark jersey is she like number 2 amongst men and women.
Yep, behind Steph Curry.
Right. So Caitlin Clark jersey is number 2 behind Steph Curry amongst men and women. So if you selling jersey, do you want to wait until Caitlin Clark? You know what I mean? Like,
well, Mike. Sometimes,
so is it number 2 Mike, today?
Go ahead, man.
I'm going to say, is it number 2 today? Today is number 2 jersey, right? Caitlin Clark
the last time it was measured. The last time it was measured, she was number 2 the last time it was measured.
She's been in the league for 3 years.
Yeah.
So progression is definitely on the side of Caitlin Clark. No doubt about it. Well, but now my question is, they released a shoe.
Her jersey.
I'll just say this, Mike. I'll just say this sometimes, Mike. Sometimes you don't have no choice by how long it takes, because what we're not taking into account is how much it takes to design these shoes. Sometimes it's not just bam, 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 we can put it out. You know, especially if you're trying to deal with different technologies, you're trying to make something different that's on the market.
And quality control, it got to be a
quality, all that stuff. And as far as Reebok go, they didn't even go after Angel first. She was an afterthought. Well, if you watch the documentary on Netflix, Shaq and AI was brought in to resurrect Reebok. So Reebok is kind of desperate in a sense, trying to get themselves back into the marketplace. So they're going to be a little bit more rushed to do things because they're trying to make an impact, especially from Shaq and AI, because they're on the timetable, you know? So, you know, comparing Reebok and Nike and all these different things, man, it's a little different, you know?
That LSU connection between Shaq and Angel Reese is important in bringing her in, right? You know, so.
But she wasn't the first option, though.
I don't know what the.
I watched the documentary. I'm just going on the documentary I watched.
Yeah, to me, I'm more of a conspiracy theorist, man. You can't tell me the biggest sneaker shoe maker in the world is just going to wait. They're going to sit on that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They didn't sit on it. They made some prototype shoes in her name. They didn't just sit on it. Yeah. You know, they sat on Asia.
Yeah,
because they were trying to develop something.
That goes back to my conspiracy when I'm talking. I just think that they really don't want the WNBA to grow, and they don't want Caitlin Clark. You know, and I've been saying this even before Caitlin Clark even got to the WNBA. I was like, I don't think that they want this WNBA league to grow. Number one, the WNBA was on a Lifetime network. You know what I mean? And I know I've been following the WNBA since Cynthia Cooper. Tina Thompson, then you get into Simone Augustus and all those girls, right? Shamika, hosts, all those girls. So they always had talent. they always could have pushed the league, in my opinion, more than what they pushed the league. And now, when you get Caitlin Clark, somebody who in your face be like, you gotta push it because her fan base and the demand is there. Then you wait 3 years to put out her tennis shoe, but in the midst of that 3 years, you let people, beat her up and all this other kind of stuff. I don't think the league is really concerned about growing. It didn't take them that long to address other issues with other players.
Well, Mike, we've been saying that since Caitlin Clark got into the league. The WNBA was going to fumble this. We were saying it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anytime she's playing 43 televised games, and there's no other teams in the league that can draw people like she does. They're hooking their carriage up to one horse, and they're gonna ride it till they wear her ass out. That's all it's gonna be. And the sad situation is, what if Caitlin Clark never gets to the finals? What if she never gets there? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then that's a whole nother narrative. That's like, hey, did they fumble that ball? Did they put the people around her to make to make her better? It's always going to be the decisions that the WNBA made for Caitlin Clark.
Well, that's where your coaches, your coaches and your teammates, everybody come in, and it's almost like a us against the world type deal, right? You got it, because their success is tied to her success, the teammates and the organization. So that's when you go out and you get people who are going to be like enforcers, not to promote violence or anything, but you know what I mean? Like, we on a mission. Y'all not going to stop this mission because y'all don't agree with, or y'all don't like the goose, you know what I mean? The goose who laid the golden eggs, you know what I mean? Outside of our organization. So I'm questioning all that. I'm questioning her teammates as far as like bagging her. I'm questioning the organization. To me, it just seemed like they're not really interested in growing the league because they're not capitalizing on the momentum.
I know we got to move on to some other news, right? But before we go, because you have been saying that about they don't want the WNBA to grow. You've been saying that for a while, right? But tell me what would be the benefit, or why they wouldn't want it to grow. Why wouldn't they want it to grow?
Because we live in a society that's more like geared and catered towards men, right? And so it's hard for women athletes to get paid and get money and get the same respect that men do, right? And because look at how the women was paid for all those years. You know what I mean? They just now, like, the money I think that they getting now for playing is money they should have been getting from day one. If you're going to subsidize the league, then take care of the talent. You know what I mean? If the talent has always been there, take care of the talent and bring it and promote it. And if they had invested in their league years ago and capitalized on the success of the Houston Comets. The Houston Comets won the first 4 WNBA championships, right? They could have used that and propelled that and snowballed that into, you know what I mean, and started and all these young ladies that has come out of college since then. You got Lisa Leslie, you got Shamika Holstar, Maya Moore, and all those girls. They was good. You had talent the whole time, but they never promoted them. They put them on a network. People ain't even know where the games went. So,
well, they didn't put them on a network. That network wanted to put that game on its network. It's not the other way around. The WNBA don't get to pick and choose what network. They do business with networks. So networks have to find an interest in what you're doing in order to want to televise it. Unfortunately, as good as those Comet teams were and stuff, they just didn't captivate the imagination of the American public as a whole. They did captivate the imagination of a certain percentage of the population, but they didn't have mass appeal. So unfortunately, as great as they were, it just wasn't the time for that yet. So I just don't think that the WNBA is like purposely not doing this and that. I can't buy into that. I just think things happen over time. You grow. Even with the NFL, for a long time, they were struggling to make a profit. It took them 50 some years or whatever to get a breakthrough. It just don't happen like that.
Hold on, man. Let me say this real quick, man. 1992 when they was doing Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and all those guys, they was doing it. You know what I mean? That basically was a world tour to promote basketball, right? So you had some really good WNBA basketball players who was playing for USA back then too. They didn't promote the women's side of it like they did the men.
I disagree.
It was from day one. They did not. The women, they had women.
I agree. But I understand why they didn't promote it like that.
Why?
I understand why, because the names you just mentioned, Magic, Larry, and Mike, they was already worldwide. You gotta really sell them like that.
There you go.
They at the forefront. They're at the forefront of their sport. They're Titans in their sport already. So people over in different countries already heard of Mike, Magic, and Larry even before they was on the scene internationally like that. But
I wish I could remember the names, because the young ladies who play on that 92 team they were worldwide too. Those young ladies, they were worldwide. They were Olympic champions.
Mike, what you're talking about right now, I understand your conversation right now, okay? But I'm gonna push back on that, because you're talking in 1992 where women's sports in general was not looked at as a media, how can I say, a media giant. Okay, it didn't matter what women's sport was going on. We as men were not watching. Okay, and men take up right now. We are 75 to 85% of the viewership, because more women are watching sports now. Back then, women was not watching sports. That's just a factor. Women wasn't watching sports, so that's why when the WNBA decided, hey, we need to go on Lifetime. Lifetime was a woman-based channel. They were trying to first get to their core audience, which were women. Unfortunately, women wasn't watching. So no matter what the WNBA
y'all
did,
know who Cheryl Miller is? Y'all know who Cheryl Miller is?
Yes, we do. We basketball people, Mike.
All right, what about? All right, hold up. What about?
We basketball people, Mike.
All right.
Don't listen. I'm gonna tell you now. It don't listen. Listen.
You can't.
It don't matter. Listen, it don't matter who Cheryl Miller is. Okay, the situation is Cheryl Miller played in a time where women's sports was not viewed.
Yes,
was not viewed. Mike, let me ask you a question, Mike. How many Cheryl Miller games did you watch?
Man, I watched Kim Mulkey. I remember Kim Mulkey running up and down the court with the long ponytail. I watched the McGee twins.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. In 19
starting for USC. Cynthia Cooper was coming off the bench. They had the McGee twins. They had
Mike.
Cheryl Miller. What's up?
Nobody's not saying that these girls wasn't great players.
Right.
That's not what we're saying.
It's the viewership. It's the crowd. It's who they target to. Women's sports target. Listen, the NBA finally got smart and said, you know what? We're going to stop targeting to women. We're going to target to everybody now. We're going to make it a man's game. We're going to make men watch our game too. That's why they evolved to where they are now. But that wasn't what they were doing in the beginning. In the beginning was this women's sports geared towards women. We need women to watch our sport first, then we can branch out.
2 points, man. They still don't watch it like that, man.
Not like that. 2 points, Mike. 2 points real quick. What makes the NFL so watchable and worldwide watch and some of these other sports is because women, straight women, and men watch it, right? They like it. For some reason, straight women didn't gravitate to the WNBA. It used to be a joke. That's what it was. They wasn't gravitating to that. Straight women wasn't interested in watching this league. And straight women are casual fans in a sense. They're not so, analytical. They don't understand nuance. They're not you. They're not like you, Mike. You know basketball. So you found the sport entertaining. Another thing, Sue Bird summed it up great. She said, for all these years we was going along, and it was like a little bit of spark on the fire. It was slow, right? You had this one come along a little bit. Then you had Kobe taking interest and might have brought a little bit more casuals in and stuff. But she said, but then, and the reason being is because everybody's sitting at home like, oh, they can't dunk. They're not athletic. yada, yada, yada. But then she said, but then Caitlin Clark comes along, and now she's shooting logo threes. And what she did was pour gasoline on that bitch and started a fire. And now you got guys watching and stuff because she's shooting these long, long bombs. Now, how long that will last, I don't know. But I do know something else is coming. This league is going to grow, without a shadow of a doubt. Just because the minute we start talking about it not growing and stuff like that, we're energizing it. It's going to grow. It might not grow at a certain pace. It's going to grow. It's already shown growth. So something else going to come along. It's going to make it even bigger.
Yeah, I guarantee it's growing. What they add, like 4 more teams, 3 or 4 more teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't stop growth. You can't stop growth, bro. Because it ain't in man's hands.
All right. It was. Are
we going to get to the NBA?
That time,
I want to talk about my boy. I want to talk about him. We'll talk about the NBA.
Yeah, man. What about that Giannis? First, I want to get into the Giannis trade. I want to know like what y'all feelings on that Giannis. Like how is Giannis the difference maker down there? Before y'all even get started, I just think it was a lateral move for Giannis to go to Miami.
And I would agree to a certain extent with that. Because I'm gonna tell you how I agree with that. It was a lateral move because a lot of the pieces aren't around right now. Okay, but you're talking Pat Riley. Okay, you're talking an architect that once he sees something, he goes and makes it happen. So with the things, because right now I hear he's going after John Morant because nobody wants him, and Kawhi Leonard. Okay, they're the other two guys that I hear that he's trying to put on the roster. Okay. Now, Pat Riley always has a plan. Always has a plan. So if we as NBA fans think that this is just the end of the plan, I think it's just the beginning of the plan. So great move by the Heat to get him.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in.
Yeah.
Definitely going out to get Giannis, you know what I'm saying? That was a good move for the Heat, for Pat Riley. Giannis, he's been hurt lately. I think he's 31. I think he's 31 years old. He might be just a smidge past his prime or whatever. He's been hurt lately. Him and Bam down there together. The thing is, Pat Riley does have a plan. I'm not denying that. The ability to implement his plan, that's going to be the challenge because they're up against it for a salary cap. They're up against it. They say they're going to lose Norman Powell, right? They say they're going to lose him because this is his first contract that he really can cash in and get a big payday. Miami won't be able to pay him, but he's seeking and what he can get on the open market. They got what's my man name? They got from the athletic wing, man. That was with Cleveland, was with Golden State. Man, was Wiggins. They got Wiggins down there. They say Pat Riley gonna have to try to convince him to take less per year, but more years to stay. The Ja Morant thing, they say they don't have the assets to trade for Ja Morant or Ja Morant's contract because that'll push him, below that second apron or something like that. Something that the New York Knicks owner is already pushing back against, and they just won the title. So I think Miami, is going to struggle to get, some viable pieces around Giannis. You know what I'm saying? I still think Giannis can be your number one on the championship team. I definitely believe that. But coming up with the pieces around him, that's going to be the challenge that Pat Riley's going to have. And I don't doubt that he can make something happen. He just might be a little bit, handcuffed by that salary cap thing and that second apron.
Well, see, they said the thing with John Morant is nobody wants him.
I heard that.
They've been trying to shop John Morant, and nobody wants to do.
I think they want him, but not at that price point, and they don't want to give up a lot for him.
I mean, that's what they and so, like I said, it's a lot of pieces that they can put around Giannis to make it happen. But to me, they still need a point guard. To me, they still need a point guard.
I think the same issues Giannis is having in Miami are the same issues that Giannis had when he was in Milwaukee. He needed a point guard there. He couldn't, his health was in you know what I mean, he wasn't healthy. So it's the same issue. That's why I said it's a lateral move. Not only is it a lateral move, but it's now you got to develop chemistry, and you got to, you have to get used to that atmosphere or that environment that he's in. So he's starting over in a sense, in my opinion.
Now he's supposed to be said no to a Boston deal, right?
Yeah,
he's supposed to be
that's what I heard. Yeah,
Boston deal, right?
That's the only way I would have left.
Boston deal got shut down.
Yeah, but
that's the only way I would have left is to go to Boston.
Right. But if you're talking about winning, why wouldn't you go to Boston?
Yeah.
And team up with Jason Tatum? But I don't know, man.
Who's the point guard? Who's the point guard in Miami? I heard them talking favorable about him. What's his name? Devon something.
I ain't familiar, Clayton.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the point guard.
They say he's a great perimeter defender. They put up the starting five for Miami. Yeah. And they saying right now that starting five will be an excellent defensive team. That's just what I heard. I don't know.
I agree
I
with that.
watched Miami a lot.
Defense, but offensively, I think they're gonna be limited though.
Yeah, you got Giannis, Bam. Yeah, you gonna shut stuff down.
But they were saying that point guard is a great perimeter defender. I don't know how many points did Miami average during the season. So when you
as a team,
yeah, and then when you inject Giannis into it, I mean, yeah, I'm not necessarily. I don't know if it was a lateral move. I hear you, Mike, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I got to agree with Clayton. I don't think it was a lateral move because for one thing, Milwaukee made it known that they were not going to try to be winning team with Giannis there. They weren't going to try to be a winning team.
Yeah.
So as a Giannis to get out of there was just wherever you want to send me. Okay, let's talk about you sending me somewhere because obviously you're not going to try to build a team around me to win in the next 5 years.
Even before they made that announcement, they wasn't. You know what I mean? They was falling short of what they thought they could do. You know,
they should have traded them at the trade deadline. That's what they wanted to do. Remember? They were trying to trade him at the trade deadline.
And remember, Giannis was dealing with injury too. Yeah. He had, last year I think he was injured. So he's been out of the lineup a lot too. So that's part of it as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I think Miami. I think this makes them formidable. And I like the fella suggested. I certainly don't believe they done.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I do believe in league politics. That's why I thought the minute Pat Riley suggested he wanted Giannis, I felt like he was going because I don't necessarily believe Tyler Hero and those draft picks was the greatest deal they could get for Giannis. I believe that was about league politics.
Right. And to be honest with you, like you said, that Boston trade was actually better on paper because they offered 2 number 1s too.
Yeah.
And Brown.
Yeah.
The thing about was different with the NBA. As far
that's his name, Devon Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Salaries always got to match up in NBA trades. It's not like that with other sports. So everything got to match up salary wise. So it's a break even type of trade. That's why to trade these guys, and the salaries don't match. Like you say, you probably could get Ja in there, but what they will have to give up and give back, it won't match up numbers wise. So that's what makes things difficult. That's what makes things difficult.
Yeah.
Hey, Retro. I'm sorry.
Well, my question is now, what do the Celtics do with Brown?
They gonna move. I think they gonna move.
They shopping him hard, according to reports.
I think this is a big mistake by the Celtics, though.
Me too.
I do. I don't think that Tatum. Like, if you got Tatum without Brown, it's not the same result as Brown without Tatum. Yep. You know what I mean? And Brown showed not just last year, but he been showing the whole time. This is not his first time where they was whispering about trades for Brown, right?
Every year.
Every year he come in, he show up and he show out every year, right? So
Boston, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I hope they do trade him, and because I want to see what happens. You know what I mean? Like that's when the rubber gonna hit the road. Like, what can Tatum do without Brown? So I hope they do.
They got to change their whole philosophy up there in Boston, man. They shoot way too many damn 3-pointers.
Yeah.
They gotta change that, man. I know they big with analytics and things like that, man. They gotta stop playing bombs away all the time, man. That hurts them. It hurts them, man. You know what I'm saying? And
So it's talk that Jason wants to be the man on a team. So tell me right now where he could go.
you mean Jalen? You mean
Jalen?
Jalen?
Yeah, Jalen Brown. I'm sorry, Jalen Brown. He wants to be the man on some team. Tell me what team right now he can go that he'll be the man that he'll have them competing.
I can give you one team.
Atlanta. I know Atlanta.
Hey, if he goes to Golden State,
he won't be the man there. He won't be the man. I'm talking about he wants to be the man.
He can go to Atlanta.
As old as Steph Curry is and them boys over there, Jalen, he can go over there and be the man.
No,
he can do it.
He won't be the man in Golden State. He won't be the man in Golden State.
He won't be the man in Golden State.
He can do it.
Steph and them still putting on the jersey. He
won't be the man in Golden State.
State.
Now, Mike bring up Atlanta. That's interesting.
Yeah, Atlanta was a team that they was talking about.
They was competitive.
Yeah. They say Orlando. They say Orlando was another team.
Orlando.
Houston, you can be the man in Houston?
I don't know.
That, you know,
but if he goes, you don't think they would have to get rid of Durant?
Probably. I don't think they got a problem with getting rid of Durant. I don't think they got a problem.
Neither do I. I don't think they have a problem either. But you know, for him to go over there and be the man, I think they would have to get rid of Durant.
Anyway,
Durant
talked behind everybody's back, so they probably ready for Durant to go anyway.
I'm gonna tell you what, man.
When I said I'm crucified about Durant, you know what I'm saying?
I love you, Mike. I love you, man.
I told y'all, man. Hey, I told you, as good as Durant is, man, he might be a cancer. I told y'all that.
I hear that.
So you wasn't on the show one week, right, man?
Mm-hmm.
Me, Mikey Clayton was on here, and I say, man, I gotta give man his flowers because man been saying it, and I've been pushing back the whole time. I say, man, I gotta give credit to man because he been saying it about KD. I see it now, and I say, man was the first one to say it, man. I say, no, I got to shout out my man because he been saying it, and I've been pushing back the whole time, but. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that, sir.
I'm still pushing back, man. I'm still pushing back.
Man been on it for a minute. Man been on it since we started this show. Man, and I've been pushing back the whole time. I'm like, no, man, this, that, this, but no, you right. You've been right, brother.
Hey, Durant is a great player. Great. You can't take nothing away from Durant's skills, yo. I just think it's his personality that gets in the way of these team structures. That's what I just think it is, man.
I think Durant heard you, man, and just wanted to prove you right. He just wanted to prove you right, boy. He was like, man, that nigga telling the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston had a great core, great nucleus. But you know what I'm saying? They went to the conference semifinals the year before. Yeah. And they was on a path to be like, oh shit, they're up and comings.
But just look at Shangoon. Shangoon regressed when KD got there. He wasn't getting the looks he was normally getting. You know what I'm saying? They showed KD. Some guy took a wide open three. KD was mad. You know what I'm saying? Just on the court because KD was open. But the guy came out and took a three. KD got mad. You can see his body language. He's supposed to say something to him. But
in all fairness to KD, Houston was missing a main piece to their team. It wasn't the same team last year. Van Fleet was his name.
Van Fleet
was out. Yeah, he was injured and out. That wasn't the same team. So that's just in fairness to KD. And as far as him getting mad if he's open, I bet you can find a scenario like that on every team. I don't think that makes the whole team derail.
But let me say this though. Do you see that with Steph Curry though?
What?
Like you know what I mean?
Are you looking for it? Are you looking for it? Are you paying attention to it?
It would be obvious. Now I will say this: if you shoot the ball on that team on Golden State and you're not supposed to be shooting the ball, it's not Steph Curry not even really gonna have to say nothing, right? You gonna have Steve Kerr, then you gonna have what's his name?
Draymond. You out and shit. Yeah,
Draymond gonna slap the shit out. You know what I mean? So,
he
so maybe that might not be a good example.
Like that, yeah. So you ain't gonna do that.
He a culture killer, though. You
Right.
know, I just think he's a culture killer.
I don't know.
Hey, I think next year Kevin Durant is going to be playing for some unfunctional team, somebody like the Clippers or something, that just has no stability in the front. I mean, in the management part, and they're going to let KD just do whatever the fuck he want to do. Okay,
Houston should have went and got a point guard. Houston should have went and got a point guard. Ain't nobody say you had to go out there and get Magic Johnson and shit, but they should have got a point guard. When Van Vliet went down.
Yes.
Well, they watched what happened with him with no point guard when he was in Phoenix. Him,
Devin Booker,
and Bill, right?
Yeah.
You know, they had all three of those guys. They just taking turns shooting.
Exactly.
They don't have no chemistry, no point guard out there, man.
That's why, like I say, Şengün, his game hurt the worst without a point guard. His game, you know what I'm saying? Because he needed somebody to feed him. He needed somebody to get, you know what I mean, in that pick and roll and things like that, find him diving to the basket.
Yeah,
and his game really, you know what I mean, hurt because of that.
Sometimes when you get a player like Durant and players that can create their own shot, you know, the point guard is less of a priority to you. It shouldn't be, but it becomes that, because really a point guard is just a person that can get shots for others and create his own. But when you got a person that can create, like Tunk said, this guy needed that because he can't create for himself. So, you know, sometimes teams get lured into that false sense because they got people that can create their own shots and also get others involved. They might not run sets like a point guard do, but they can get other people involved. So sometimes they're going to back burn a little bit.
I think if you coach like, I think it's getting back to the point where you can't coach like that no more, right? Because, you know, you got to have somebody who can move that ball and distribute that ball like that. I think the Spurs need a point guard. You know what I mean? I like the point guard that the Celtics have, right? I like that Pritchard guy up there in Boston. You know,
yeah, but New York just won the title. New York just won the title without a conventional point guard.
Yeah, but I think when you get,
I
think it's going back, man, to that point guard because it's team ball. When you got a point guard, everybody is moving on the court. You know what I mean? Like people moving. That's how Şengün was finding himself open. Like he moved from side to side on that court, and then Vlambeet is moving. You know what I mean? He was moving with him and passing the ball. He found himself
and he looking for him. Yeah, and he looking for him too. You know what I'm saying?
He found himself open.
You can have somebody that can pass the ball, but that don't mean he's a point guard. You understand?
Right.
Especially when it's your best player. Now, KD is your best player, and he can create his own shot. Just like Clayton just said. So you might not put that much of an emphasis on the position. When you say, oh, my best player can get his own shot, oh, we'll figure it out with the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you need the point guard for, the rest of them. That's what you need the point guard for. And De'Aaron Fox. Oh, let me touch on this about Kawhi, since we talking about trade possibilities. Kawhi said he will only re-sign if he's traded. He will only re-sign with San Antonio or Toronto. So
wow.
That takes a lot of teams out. That might consider trading for him.
Wow.
Me personally, man, I thought the whole San Antonio thing surprised me because, you know, he left there. It wasn't, you know what I mean, under good circumstances. You know what I mean? He felt as though that they misdiagnosed him. They wanted him to get out there and play. When he said he was injured, they were saying, no, he's not injured and things like that. But maybe Pop not there in the mix no more. Maybe the team, they got new team trainers, new team doctors. So maybe, you know, all that factors in with it. And him going back to Toronto, I'm thinking he shouldn't have left Toronto to begin with. He said he wanted to go home to LA. You know, I guess, you know, that was the best thing financially for him, and I understand that. But he still ain't got to pay for a meal in Toronto, even if he go back. He won him that chip. Yeah. He ain't got to pay for no meal up there in Toronto for the rest of his life. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's on the move, you know, like we was talking about Ja or whatever. It's going to be in Jaylen Brown. It'd be interesting to see if a team would try to trade for or just San Antonio or Toronto, where they try to trade for him to bring him back to their team. You know what I'm saying?
All right, if you San Antonio, though, would you trade to bring in Kawhi?
I would.
I wouldn't trade. No,
I wouldn't want to give up that young core. You know that's what they're gonna have to break them up. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want
to. That's the mistake that Houston just made. They got rid of Jalen Green.
Yeah.
And they got rid. Well, they didn't get rid of, and their point guard got hurt, right?
Yeah. What's name got hurt?
So I'm not messing with that chemistry.
Look what Minnesota did.
Right.
Oh, they gave up Cat, and now they rebuild again.
So let me ask you this: do you think that's a rebuild move for Minnesota bringing in LaMelo? You think that's a rebuild move?
I do. I mean, I like the fit. I like the fit.
I don't necessarily think him and Ant in the backcourt. I wouldn't look at that as a rebuild. Then Anthony Edwards ain't trying to rebuild. He's trying to win something. So
it's some chatter. It's some chatter that they feel like Ant-Man is going to be on the move.
I heard that too.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They talking about Ant might be on the move too.
And they speculate.
That's how they're going though, Clayton. Like he's saying, I want out if y'all talking about rebuilding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now
they speculating that on things from the past, like KG. They let KG go. They let other players go, like Cat and stuff. So they speculating that, but this ain't the same GM either. So I'm not so sure if he's gonna move them, but
I mean, if you bringing in LaMelo Ball, man, and you got rid of who gone? Nas Reed gone.
Nas Reed gone.
What's the other guy name? Randall is gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a different trade though, but yeah, they traded him.
Yeah. So Randall is gone, Reed is gone, man. I just think that. And then you bring in LaMelo Ball. I just don't. LaMelo Ball, his shot selection, he's not a pure point guard to me, man.
Right.
He shoot first. Right. He shoot first. And I think a nice point guard to go and you got those big guys down there.
Gobert and you got Gobert is still there, and but no, I'm thinking about Julius Randle. But yeah, Gobert's still there.
Yeah, Gobert's still there.
Yeah.
I am going to say this. Anthony Edwards' mentality is infectious. And I do believe putting a young Melo with him, it may change the way Melo approached the game just because Ant-Man's energy is so infectious. He's a leader. He's like, let's go get it. And I just don't know. I just think that might be fun to watch, per se.
He's gonna have to definitely infect him. He's gonna have to definitely infect him because I just don't like it.
It's probably
because remember the second half of this year, Melo was playing some good hell of a ball.
Yes.
That got Charlotte into the playoffs.
Yes.
He started that second half of the year to the playoffs. He was playing good ball.
Yeah.
So as far as me thinking it's a rebuild, that's why I'm saying I'm really not thinking it's a rebuild because Melo was playing good ball. Yeah. It ain't like he wasn't. It ain't like he was bumping it up. He was playing good ball.
Look, right. But LaMelo, he know he's not going to be the man there. He know he's not going to be the man. He should know, right? They came in the same draft, though. I don't know if y'all remember that. They came in the same draft. LaMelo was rookie of the year that year. So LaMelo might come in with like a little bit, because he was the man down Charlotte. He might come in with a little bit of swag himself and be like, well, man, I might not be the man, but I'm just as good as you.
He might.
I might not be the man, but that's good. Now, I don't agree with that, but I will understand him coming in thinking that way.
Yeah, he definitely good at him.
Yeah. Hey, but would that be a wrong mentality to have though?
Not necessarily.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if he think he's gonna come in there and okay, you the man, I'm good. Let's make this happen. We have seen that happen on teams where you put two superstars together and they like, okay, we all gonna run.
If he channeled it right, right,
change the whole mentality.
Man, thinking he the man, it could be something. Anthony Edwards is the number one option. That that shouldn't even be. Up for debate on that. Anthony is the number one option. Now, you know what I'm saying? If LaMelo is a number 2 or 1A or however they try to do it now, okay, that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? We always going to defer to Ant. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you got to remember, all winning teams have that number 2 option, that number 3 option. Because most teams focus on the number 1.
Absolutely.
So, if you're number 1, because let's say you're the number 1 option that average 27 points a game. Where are those other points coming from that's going to win you a championship? And if you don't have those guys on your team that's willing to go up and get them points, that's going to just sit around and watch Anthony go get his points.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to win.
let me say this. I don't know if LaMelo ever played, and I'm going back even his high school days and stuff. I don't know if LaMelo ever played on a team where he wasn't the man, where his shot selection wasn't never, you know what I'm saying, called out. Them little 1 foot off balance threes, you know what I mean, off the wrong foot and shit, you know what I'm saying, in Minnesota, somebody might say, hey, that ain't a good shot. You know what I mean?
Well, remember his father pulled him out the European League. Remember that? His father pulled him out the European League.
Did y'all see how his father used to carry on at those games, in the high school games and stuff like that? How his father, so no, he never was in a position where I think somebody could just flat out coach him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not without his father, like his father having some input. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. You know what I mean? It was good enough to get him to the NBA, but you know, he got to be coachable now because you know.
And that's why he got pulled out the European League, because Dad said he wasn't being used properly. He wasn't being coached right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Right. The European League exposed him to the big boy shit because he was playing against grown men. Yeah, he was a teenager, but he was playing against grown men. And that one jumping off the 1 foot, the layup just doesn't work over there sometimes.
Right.
I thought he was effective over there.
I
thought he was young, but was very effective against grown men.
I'm not saying he's not effective. I'm just saying I don't think he did well with the structure of the game. I just don't think at that time he did well with the structure of it. He complained to Dad. Dad ain't like what he was saying. You know what I mean? I'm not saying
so when he took him out the European League, where did he go? Because I thought he came from that and went right to the NBA.
He went back. No, he went back to high school.
No,
he played his senior year.
No, he was done with high school then.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he pulled him out of school. That's why he was
playing. No, he was the youngest. Melo was the youngest player to ever play a professional in the European League at 16.
We're not doubting that, man.
Right. And when he left out of there and did his senior year in high school.
Yeah. I don't think so.
No,
look it up. Look it up.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he did his senior year in high school.
You are an information guy, Clayton. You the one.
I don't have my computer in front. I don't think that was the case. He never went back to high school.
When he left Europe, he went and did his last year in high school.
Oh,
okay. His would-be senior years when he was over in Europe. His would-be senior years when he was over.
Remember, he was playing over in Europe during the summertime when there was no more school.
Well, I'm gonna put a pin in that. So maybe later, if I look it up, I might put it in the text. But
right.
So, let me ask y'all about LeBron and LA, man. They just signed this guy Reeves, right? Do y'all think LeBron coming back next year to the Lakers next year?
No.
I think he's coming back. He just not going to get the max. I think he's coming back. But Reeves, right? When them other moves was made with them other teams that was interested in him, it kind of like cut Reeves' ability to move and get the max somewhere else. Because some other teams made moves, and once they signed them other players, man, they have the room to sign him for a max deal. That's why he came back to the Lakers, because they had some teams, New Jersey being one, was supposed to be going after him for a max.
From what I hear, it was New Jersey, Detroit, and Minnesota. They were the three teams going after him.
Yeah, I heard Minnesota, but I heard the other two. Yeah, so yeah. But once they made moves, they wasn't able to bring him in as the max, so that helped the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Retain a little leverage over him. Like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? We can give you what them other teams giving you now. So, and I think that's, you know what I mean? That plays their favor, yeah.
Because from what I hear, the Lakers wasn't trying to sign him until after the draft. They weren't going to re-sign him until after the draft. But once they found out those other teams were going after him, they were like, all right, we got to figure something out now.
Yeah, I wasn't giving him no max, though. I don't give a damn what. I ain't giving him no max because he's not the best player on the team. Luka is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, no.
I wouldn't have gave him no max.
Yeah, I ain't giving no max. Fuck that. Yeah. Go ahead out. I ain't got no problem with you going to get paid, but I ain't giving you no damn 200. I think his max would have been like 230. Something like that.
I just don't see it. I mean, like I said, maybe it's just me, and I just didn't watch enough Lakers basketball without LeBron. But I just didn't see a max contract going to this dude.
You're damn right, he ain't no max player. Get the hell out of here, man. Just because somebody averaged 20 points, all of a sudden they're a max player now. Man, hell no.
Right. That was crazy to me.
So, hey man, Terrence Davenport said you was right. I guess he referring to the
LaMelo.
Yeah, Melo.
Going back for 10 years.
Tell them expand on it. Expand on it a little bit more, right? You got the information.
Terrence,
expand on it a little bit more.
Is that is he referring to the Melo?
Yeah, the LaMelo thing. Right. Yeah.
So hey, let me ask y'all a question about my Wizards. That I'm newly inducting into my sports favorite teams now.
I like that.
Are we going to see an Anthony Davis mixture with these Wizards?
They say he went
out. He did, but I'm saying, I mean, he may want out, but if ain't nobody want him,
right?
Do he stay?
Right. Yeah, he got to stay. Right. But look, they got Trae Young. They gave Trae Young some bread. They got the best.
They got a young draft pick.
Yeah.
So Anthony Davis wants out. You heard that?
Yeah.
That's official.
Yeah.
No.
He said he wants out.
You know what I'm saying?
That's speculation.
Yeah,
speculation. He wants out.
Because to be honest, if he can stay healthy, I think they got a nice squad.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey, I agree.
Yeah.
They'll be a lot more competitive. They might even make the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
They say, man, you couldn't really go wrong. If you had a top 4 pick, whichever the 4th one was, you was good with. You understand? Whatever the 4th one was, you was good with. They say they real high on that guy out of Kansas. They real high on him, man. He is Peterson, right?
Peterson, yeah. Isn't it Darren Peterson or
something like that? Yeah,
something like that.
Real high on him, man. So, you know what I mean, keep eye, because they say he might be the most talented.
Okay.
He might be the most talented. You know what I'm saying? So, so he's in Utah, and the other guy, where the Boozer kid go? The Boozer kid went to
he went to
Memphis.
That's right. They went to Memphis. And see, going back to the Ja thing, that's another reason why they want to move Ja. They don't want Ja to corrupt him. Right?
They don't want. They was rebuilding it anyway. They didn't want to take on that Ja contract and all that stuff.
Taking to the gun store talking about, you know what I'm saying, get this, you know what I mean, this Glock better than this, you know what I'm saying? They don't want him doing that old type shit. Take it to the club, which you know what I mean, I always got mine, you know, I got a SIG 40. You take, you know what I mean, they don't want y'all doing They don't want y'all doing all that. And who was the 4th? Who was the 4th pick? He went to Chicago. Who was that? Oh man. Damn, who was the boy from Carolina? The boy from Carolina.
Yeah, the boy from Carolina went to Chicago.
I like him. I like that kid from Carolina. I like him.
And then the dude, what's his name? Acuff Jr. Out of Texas Tech, I believe that's where he went to school.
Oh, no, I thought he was a Razorback. He was from Texas Tech.
Arkansas. All right, you're right. You're right. You're right. SEC dude. But they say he the first guard to lead the SEC in scoring and assists since Pete Maravich.
Okay.
They say, so he gone to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sacramento had a decent squad too.
Yeah, he gone to Sacramento.
Didn't they?
But they didn't make the playoffs or nothing. But you know,
but wasn't they kind of competitive? Maybe
some talent.
Yeah, they got talent over there.
I mean, but if you look at Sacramento, they building the team through the draft and everything else. So they building it like the West is building their team. The West, if you look at the West teams and people the teams in the West, they're building through the draft and younger players and stuff. So they're building it the same way everybody else is building it. So,
one of them kids said they watched a rookie and talking about Harper kid in San Antonio go far. So he like, I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to help a team go to the final. So they coming in with a different mentality now, watching this kid's success.
Hey, I'm telling you, I like this new crowd of these kids, man, that's coming in the league. You know what I mean? And these new guys, Wemby and Shea and all those guys, and then you got Harper and Castle, and you know what I mean? They just that's old school basketball the way they playing.
Right. But look at the parity that's in basketball right now. With the last 8 champions has been different. There has not been a back-to-back champion in years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're coming in for. Like everybody feels as though they got a chance now in the NBA.
Yeah.
Whereas at first you could go to a team like, fuck it, I'm going to lose for the next 5 years. But now if you get on a team, you got a feeling that first year you can make a run at the finals. Because there's so much parity out there right now.
But I do think it's a situation though where if a coach can get the right guys and everybody get on the same page, I think it's an opportunity for somebody to build a dynasty if they build it the right way. I think it's an opportunity for a dynasty to be built in this.
But see, I think right now in the NBA, this is the first time in the NBA, probably in my watching the NBA, where every part of what goes on in the NBA structure matters now. From the top end, from management to coaching to players, all three of them have to connect now to build a winning roster now. Whereas before in the 90s, if you had that one all-star player like Magic or Jordan, you could see them in the finals 6 out of 9 years or whatever because of, who they were as players. Management really had nothing to do with it. Coaching had a little bit to do with it, but it was a lot about the players.
I think it always mattered, man. I just think it's more of a connection now than it was before. I think it always mattered. Front office, coaching, and player. I think it always mattered. I think it's more emphasized now than it probably was in the past, and things like that.
To bounce back on that, you could tell back in the 90s and the early 2000s when management had no idea what the hell they were doing.
Well, no idea. I think player empowerment hurt it, right? Because now when it comes to player empowerment, I want to see the guys get their money, right? But I don't want to see kids who not qualified to evaluate talent. You know what I mean? I don't want to see them doing stuff like you didn't even see Magic and Mike and Bird and them. They didn't, that wasn't their job. Their job was to get better every year. Right?
I think player empowerment, Mike, should stop at your paycheck, to be honest. I don't think it should go beyond that, right? Player empowerment, yeah, give me all the bread I can get, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean,
rely on management to put the right players around them, and then rely on the coaching to coach up the right system.
You make a great point, Mike, about player empowerment, trying to kind of derailing that a little bit. But what do you guys think when Isaiah got Mark Aguirre over and shipped Dantley out?
That was wrong. That was wrong. I say that was wrong.
Okay. But I'm just saying it did work. It did work out though. They won a title with him.
Right.
I thought it was wrong. I thought it was a lateral movement. Those two guys.
It kind of was.
Yeah, and then Aguirre. I thought it was wrong at the time. I thought they,
that was wrong. Yeah,
I like that Chicago ignored Michael in terms of bringing Bill Cartwright. They didn't give a damn what Michael said. He didn't want Oakley gone, but they did it anyway. Yeah,
they hurt Mike. Mike, you know what I mean? That was his guy. Oak
was his guy. And hold up, and let's not forget about how Mike felt about Tony Kukoc when he came back. Let's not forget about that. He did not want Tony Kukoc nowhere around.
Yeah, fuck Tony Kukoc, fuck it.
I don't necessarily know that Mike. I don't necessarily know that Mike felt the way about Kukoc more than he felt the way about Krause. I just think that was about Krause, not Tony.
Well, Mike said they purposely gave this dude a hard way to go, and
in the game because it was about Krause. It wasn't really about Tony.
Yeah, but
he was just the target at the time because he Krause.
He was just the target.
He was collateral damage. Damage. But
you make a good point though.
Krause didn't let Mike run that team though.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
So if you're a star player, right? Let's flip it, right? If you're a star player on any team, you know what I mean? NFL, basketball, Major League Baseball, not so much with baseball, but if you're a star player, would you feel a certain way if a team going out and you the quarterback and your star receiver, they don't want to pay him and he about to leave real free agency? Do you have a problem with them not running it past you or letting you know what's going on?
I think certain players you can consult with, but then you still got to let them know that it's the final decision is mine. That's why I want to know how y'all feel about this. That's why I don't think, as great as Kevin Durant was, I don't think like he reached his peak, his potential. I still think that, like, when you think about the team concept, I think there was some opportunity for players in his era, with the exception of Steph Curry. I think there was some opportunity for those guys to be even greater. Imagine those guys being greater than what they actually were when you think about Kevin Durant and LeBron James, mainly, in my opinion.
How you defining them being greater?
And the reason why, let me hold up. Let me say this, because I think that in the team concept, I think when you put in a position where as though you have to get better, you can't move from one team to another team because you don't like the environment. You got to face the challenges, the pitfalls, and the valleys that come with being in that environment. Isaiah didn't move from Detroit. Isaiah stayed there until they were able to build and put a championship around him. And so Bird didn't move. Those guys, they improved their game every
but Mike,
year.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. All the greats that we talked about, except for Michael Jordan, who didn't move? Kareem moved.
Who moved?
Kareem. He moved.
They traded Kareem, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the same thing. I mean, we're talking, are we talking about because the players wanted to go or because the team wanted the player to go? That's
right.
Man, that is it, man. Hold up, Clayton, real quick. Man. When a player chooses to leave free agency, they get blamed more than when the team want to trade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When the player say, man, I'm a free agent, I'm free, I can go wherever I want, they get blamed. You know what I mean? You don't have no team loyalty, this, that, and this. But when the team say, all right, we're going to sign you for 4 years, but at the 2 years, oh, man, we train you, they don't get held to the same standard, man.
Go ahead. Real quick, Mike. You bring up Isaiah, you bring up Bird and stuff like that, but you got to remember them guys was on team with Hall of Famers. Bird was on a team with Hall of Famers, and the contracts were longer. They didn't necessarily shine these 3-4 year deals where they could move around so freely. So they was kind of locked in too. So I wouldn't want to compare them to what these newer players are doing necessarily.
I would say this, right? Now, when we talk about, all right, so the players get drugged for moving if they don't, you know what I mean, if things don't pan out right. So let me say that, like, if you are a parent and you have a kid that's in your house and you think that it's time for them to move on, then as the parent, you making that decision based on the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience that you have, right? Now, if the kids say it's time for me to move out, and you be like, nah, man, you bullshit, you too immature, you know what I mean? So it's different. It's differently because they are making that decision most of the time as on an emotional, whereas though the older one is making it the older person is making that based on experience. Yeah, so
but I don't know. I mean,
Mike, man, he had 30,000 career point score. He got 2 championships. I don't know how much, Mo better. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know how much Mo better
he could get.
Right. Like, what's your expectations of him? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how much better LeBron could have gotten. I don't know how much better they could get.
So when we talk about stats, no. We talk. I'm not talking about stats, but I'm talking about having an understanding of game and having an understanding of life. It's just a different level of maturity. Whereas though you could be put in a crucial situation, like take for instance what this kid Victor Wembanyama went through last year when he turned that ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Wembanyama is going to get all the stats. He's going to get all the stats. But the most important thing is that he learned from that situation that where he made that mistake at. That's maturity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about. The stats. That's why I don't care about like LeBron James stats. You know what I mean? Like it's your decision making and it's
Mike. Right. The decision making part is what sets LeBron apart from everybody in my mind. Because to be able to do what he did and move the way he moved, he put himself in position to do that. Most players can't do what LeBron did because they didn't put themselves in position. Prime example, people like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley got traded every way he go. Do you think Charles Barkley didn't want to go to a team that he can win a championship with? Hell no.
Well,
If he could have went to the Bulls, he got traded. LeBron put himself in position to do exactly what he wanted to do when he wanted to do
it. And Barkley did land on a team he could win a title. They just fell short. They went to the finals, but LeBron learned from his experience when he went to Miami, the first championship against Dallas. He made mistakes down the stretch. He grew from it. KD was in Oklahoma City. They went to the finals, fell short. Then they came back, was up 3-1 or something against Golden State, fell short. I think these guys been through stuff and they learn aspects of the game. They know how to manipulate defenses. They know how to do, they know the game so well cerebrally. I just don't think there's no better they can get. And they could be in a better situation, but I don't think you can get no better than what those guys have gotten already. I think they've fully reached their potential, if not exceeded it.
And remember the moves that they made is because of the decisions they wanted to do. They made those moves on maturity and decision. Like, look, LeBron, I can't win with this Cleveland team right now. It's just not going to happen. What can I do to make, I'm at the end of my contract. They can make moves now that they couldn't make in the 90s and the early 2000s.
What's his name said, he wanted out of LA, and that's my guy, Kobe. Kobe said he wanted out of LA, trade me, he was still under contract. LeBron finishes his contract. He like, all right, I'm done here. You know what I mean? Now let's see. That's like me looking at a job, like, all right, man, I don't want to work this job no more. I want to go work another.
Let me read this statement from a man, Hammers. Hammers said LeBron would have been better if he had to stay with the Cavaliers and actually face competition. He didn't add to his game, but he opted to collude with the competition, right? And see that's part of my point. Like,
do we got the same smoke? Do we have the same smoke with Kevin Garnett?
I was just about to say that, sir.
Do we have the same smoke?
I was just about to say that.
When Kevin Garnett chose the opposition because he couldn't beat Diesel and Kobe. Do we have the same smoke with that? No. See, the other dudes get a pass. Do we get the same smoke that Kevin Durant when he left OKC and went to Golden State? And I
don't give those guys credit. Like, you don't look at Kevin Durant and like, all right, so LeBron is in that GOAT conversation. Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, they not in that. They champions, but they not in that conversation with those.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's the point that you're proving. That's exactly what you're proving. LeBron is in that GOAT conversation because of the decisions that he made, not because of what he didn't do. He's in the GOAT conversation because of what he did do.
He's the only one y'all hold to that standard. That's something in itself. If he's the only one y'all hold to that standard, that says something in itself.
I'll say something to this comment. There's no escaping the lessons life's going to teach you. Even though he went and joined the super team, he still had to learn lessons. He met it in the finals. He ran up against resistance. He made mistakes. He had mental judgment collapses. He missed open layup. He had to go through some growing pains, regardless of the decision. And I'm not a big LeBron fan, but you're going to go through stuff that make you grow. I don't care what choice you make at all.
And I see what Ham is talking about, on LeBron's game and everything. Yeah. But let's put everything in perspective. We're talking about the GOAT of the game being either LeBron or Jordan. Okay. The reason that conversation is being brought about is because Jordan game was great, and some people consider LeBron game great. That's it. If they wasn't combining two, they ain't like we talk about Jordan and Karl Malone. Ain't like we talk about Jordan and Kareem. We're talking about Jordan and LeBron. The decisions that LeBron made, LeBron's game, and everything that comes with LeBron's career, some people consider him to be the GOAT. That's it. And his reasons for it. So we got to we want to take LeBron's accolades away from him because of the things that he did, but he was allowed to do those things because of the position he puts himself in. The things that he learned.
Let me ask y'all this: if LeBron James had stayed in Cleveland and he only won like 1 or 2 championships, would y'all still see him the same way y'all see him now?
Yeah, I would.
I wouldn't talk to him about being the GOAT.
Yeah, I ain't talking about him being the GOAT now, but I still would see him the same way. He's an exceptional basketball player. That wouldn't change.
I think he's an exceptional basketball player, but because if you got 2 rings and you stay in Cleveland, I think you basically your career is basically on par with like Isaiah Thomas.
But didn't he only have 1 ring? No, it's not.
You don't think
he only had 1 ring in Cleveland?
But like man just said, you wouldn't talk about him in that GOAT conversation. I don't think he'd go either. But I'm just saying he wouldn't be in that conversation.
Yeah, I think he injected himself in that artificial.
Well, he could have. You're right. The mass media wouldn't be considering him in the GOAT conversation. That's true. But what I'm saying is, you know how I feel. The titles don't determine your greatness. His career wasn't on par with Isaiah's. Just because if they both landed on 2 rings, that don't mean nothing. To me, LeBron is a better player in the game as opposed to Isaiah was a great point guard, great player, but LeBron is better. It's just he do more.
Right.
And just like I always say, that GOAT conversation is always the people that saw Jordan play against the people that didn't see Jordan play but saw LeBron play. Yep. And we get the same conversation of people that saw Dr. J play in the 70s and early 80s to Jordan playing in the 80s and early 90s to now. It's the generation of what we see.
You got people that saw Big O say, man, ain't nobody better than Big O.
Right.
Exactly. It's
right. That's all subjective, man.
Right. Yeah. So the GOAT conversation is subjective. What I'm saying is the reason that we're talking about him being the GOAT is because of the decisions that he made and the way he played the game. That's the reason. Regardless of who he played it with, if he had to go to Miami to win his first championship, that's what was going on at the time because Boston did it first 3 years before and won back-to-back and beat them in the conference finals 2 years in a row or something like that.
Them chumps only won 1, man. Don't give them another one. Them chumps only won.
They only won 1. So they only won 1. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
They came close to winning 2. That game 7 against the Lakers, they ran out of gas. But you're right. They only won 1.
Don't nobody say nothing when Kobe and Shaq merged together.
Right.
But don't nobody say nothing about that. But don't nobody say nothing when Tim Duncan and the Admiral merged together.
Well, they didn't merge. Shaq didn't merge either. The Lakers made an acquisition, so they bought him in free agency.
They merged.
And Tim Duncan got drafted.
Remember, Kobe didn't play for the Lakers at first. Kobe didn't get drafted by the Lakers.
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't get drafted. He got traded on draft day.
Right, but he did not get drafted by the Lakers.
No, but they made he got drafted, and Jerry West made the move to acquire him. Sure, he was always a Laker.
Exactly, but what I'm saying to you is he did not get drafted by the Lakers first.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get drafted, but he didn't play nowhere else.
He never played nowhere else, though.
Hey, I'm putting the facts out there. The Lakers didn't draft him first.
I understand, man. I understand.
Yeah, Lakers didn't draft him first. So somewhere down the line, the Lakers was like, we want him. Can we get him? But what I'm saying to you is, you put people together and they become a team, which makes one person better, makes the other person better. That's just the way it is.
Hey, Mike, you see that quote up there? I want to respond to that. You see that quote?
Go ahead.
Say how you reach your potential when you lose to J.J. Barea, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, and Hugh Turkoglu. Do he say that about Kobe? That's the same team that beat Kobe in the playoffs that year. That's the same team. So did Kobe reach his potential? Did Kobe reach his potential when he lost to that same team? You gotta be consistent. If you want to nitpick everything LeBron did and everything he fell short with, pick Kobe's 2. Pick Kobe 2. If LeBron, and I'm telling you this, if LeBron would have been with Shaq and LeBron would have 6 titles now, they would be discrediting 3 that he got with Shaq. They would discredit like LeBron only got 3 because he won 3 and he wasn't the man Shaq was. Do they do that with Kobe? Some do, but do they do that with Kobe? And Bean, my man. Bean is my guy. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be consistent with your criticism, man. You gotta be consistent.
And hold up. Let's not forget that LeBron did play with Shaq in his last year at Cleveland before he left. LeBron played with Shaq
1 year.
Yeah, the last year before he left.
Hold up, man. I don't know what you're saying, so I don't want to jump on it. Are you saying he played with Shaq? So what? That's comparable? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying because you use the Shaq comparison, LeBron did play with Shaq and they lost.
Yeah. I know. I'm talking
a guy can reach his full potential, but the team around him can fall short. It doesn't mean he's not reaching his potential. Now, I agree. That first title against Dallas, LeBron came up small. That's fine. But he grew from that. You got to give him some credit.
No,
the man grew from that experience.
They don't want to give him nothing, Clay. They don't want to give him credit.
He grew from that experience.
Yeah, and my man Mike, he won them. Don't want to give him no credit from that.
and you know why Mike don't want to give him credit? Because he wants to compare him to Jordan. That's why Mike don't want to give him no credit. Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Mike. Pound for pound, do you think LeBron is a good or great basketball player?
Oh yeah, he's a great basketball player. He is. He's not Mike though.
Ain't nobody Mike. Nobody's Mike.
Yeah. He's not even Kobe though. He's not Kobe either.
He's not Kobe. You're right. They different players.
I agree.
But you know what? Mike ain't your boy from the Celtics that won 11 championships. 8 in a row. Mike not him.
See, here's the thing, man. Tom, Mike, if you know who a player is to you and you see their greatness, you don't even have to compare him to somebody else. I don't care what LeBron does. I don't care if LeBron go out and get 3 more titles. It doesn't matter to me. I seen what I seen in Mike. He's a great player. So I'm not going to say, yeah, he got that, but he ain't Mike. It don't matter. He ain't Kobe. Kobe a different kind. They different kind of players, you know. So
Clayton,
yeah,
you make your point is so on point right now with that, because I'm gonna tell you this. My favorite running back of all time is Bo Jackson.
Okay,
I will put Bo Jackson over top of anybody.
Okay,
but we all know you got Barry Sanders that probably stat wise better. Everybody stat wise is better than Bo. You know, Emmitt Smith and every. You know, you got all the great running backs, but in my opinion. And my love and my heart, I'll take Bo Jackson first pick over any of those guys. And that's what your point is. And I'm glad you made that. It doesn't matter, you know, what your heart says.
Hell no. It ain't a bad pick at all. Hell no.
No, not at all.
Hell no.
Barry is my guy, though. I dig Barry.
Yeah.
Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
Earl, big Skull brother. I used to love Skull brother.
Hey, let's not forget about the late great Jim Brown. Now, come on now. You want to start that conversation?
I just didn't see enough of him, but
me
right.
either.
But
I used to love OJ.
This is the thing. Basketball is the only sport that people have this argument about. You never hear somebody say, "Oh man, King Griffey man was the greatest. Willie Mays was a bum." You never hear people
do that.
Let me say this though. Until 2016, when LeBron said that, nobody who else has ever put themselves in that conversation. Everybody else shy away from that conversation. That's what makes him so polarizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I dig LeBron game. You know what I mean? Like big physical. This guy 6'9" and move like a guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He Karl Malone size and move like Kenny Smith. You know what I mean?
Well, Magic. Yeah. He like Karl Malone and Magic combined.
This dude, he moved like a guard. That's crazy. That's crazy for real. But when you you interject yourself in that conversation, man, 2016.
That's a reason for you to bring them down a few pegs.
Right.
Like, that's fine.
That's what I'm going to say. So that's why it's not the talent wise, it's his attitude wise.
Yeah, man. Don't Like let your let your fans, if your fans feel like you got people who I've even heard people say that Isaiah is the greatest. You know what I mean? Isaiah don't, you know what I mean? So I don't argue with those people who say Isaiah is the greatest. I might disagree, but Isaiah don't put himself out there like that. You know what I mean? So Kobe and everybody got away from that conversation.
I just refuse to let the media give me my opinions, my thoughts, my talking points. I just refuse.
That's right.
I can dig that.
Hey, the only thing the media can give me is information.
Yeah,
I need to have my own thoughts and own opinions about the information.
And even some of that is skewed because the media always has some type of agenda. They're getting paid to report certain things. So even some of that is skewed, you know?
And I wouldn't put, I expect that from all three of y'all, and even the people in our chat, when we listen to you know what I mean? Like everybody on here just think for themselves. Yeah. I don't hear nobody quoting Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. We got our own opinions and talking points.
That's how you know what I mean? You can have a legitimate sports or basketball conversation.
Right.
And you get something out of the conversation because everybody is thinking for themselves. You know what I mean? You're not quoting like Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the one thing I love about us right now, and Mike, it's irritating the shit out of me right now. Yo, behind you, there's a background that has tic-tac-toe on it. Can you please move that red X up so you can have tic-tac-toe, please? That shit is irritating the shit out of me right now.
So we can have three.
What's your problem, man?
Just tic-tac-toe, please. Just do it. Move it.
I'm gonna get on top of that.
But it's to me, the GOAT conversation and whoever made the acronym of GOAT, sometimes it's great, or sometimes you need to shoot the motherfucker, because they're great players in all positions in every part of the game and everything. But to say that someone is the greatest of all time is just a metaphor that no sports can stand up to.
You're right, man. That's eliminating a lot of people, man. Just saying one guy was better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's
right. And then even with Michael Jordan,
too much.
Even with Michael Jordan, like when you think of, like you said, the whole landscape, you had 5,000 dudes that played basketball professionally in the NBA, man. That's just like, that's so disrespectful to say like, this dude was the best out of all of them. And then when you think about like how Clayton said, is you gotta determine like the situation that they was in, the people that was on their team, so and the whole I don't really have a GOAT, right? You know what I mean? But
well, I always preferences to the best that I've ever seen. And one of the best that I've ever seen never made the NBA. I saw him in real life. Now he might not even rank, but one of the best I ever seen was a local legend, Terry Hose. I you know what I'm saying? I looked at him. I'd never seen nobody play basketball like him before. Stuff like that. So I don't base it on. I just say the best that I ever seen.
Right, and that's a good point, because a lot of people say that there's a lot of people out there that never made it to the league for one reason or another that's just as good as everybody else. Like I played high school football, and there was a running back. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say I played high school football. There was a running back. When I say this dude ran lights out, you try to hit him, he running you over. You try to speed him, he running past you. Yeah. And I'm like, well, shit, this motherfucker can make it to the pros, but he got killed, and that stopped that legendary run that he could have had. So, like you said, it's all about what you saw, what you see.
And I'm just going back professionally. It's generation type thing. You ask my father and uncles who they top five is going to be different than my top five. You know? You ask
exactly
who they top five is going to be different than mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
and then your kids' top five is going to be different than yours.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So who am I? Oh man, you don't know what you talk about. My generation was the best. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see. My man Hammer said that I respect all y'all opinions. Let's emphasize that we can all see things different. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Yeah, we all got different lens we looking through for sure.
That's what makes a great podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, hold on, what did he say? What's that last thing he said?
Hold up, what did it say?
Right there.
what he said, another thing, players altered their game after MJ, Kobe, is the best
It's the best
example.
example.
Right?
Yeah.
Steph got bigs trying to
Trying to jack up threes.
guys
Yeah.
who altered their games who altered their game after LeBron James.
Who want to play like him?
Yeah.
See, this when you know what I mean, the goalposts just don't stand still, man. You know what I mean? This the goalposts just don't keep still, man. That damn thing like crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, but look, hey, Tom Hammers asked a legit question though. That's a legit.
But so let me say this. First of all, Steph ain't got big shooting threes.
Let me run through.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. You can't mimic a 6'9" tank running downhill. You can't mimic that. You understand? I mean, they mimic his game. Oh, so a lot of people say he don't have a bag. All right, let's just say that's true. He don't have a bag. So he don't have a bag, and he end up first on a lot of people's list when it comes to things, right? So is that a knock that he don't have a bag, but he's number one? Or that's saying, just imagine if he did have a bag, the separation would be greater. Man, it's just a lot when it comes to that dude, man, that people want to nitpick about. It was a comment up there before that said something else, another example of the goalpost continuing to move, man. It's just weird, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hammer says it's all love, brothers. Yeah.
So, I like that comment. He talked about Chris Jackson. That was my guy too.
LSU, Chris Jackson.
That was my guy. Yes. Yeah.
So let me say this though, because he did say a point about Steph Curry having, changed the game for big guys shooting threes. Gotta say this. That's wrong. European leagues had that. Because before even Steph Curry even came in the league, you had Detlef Strip coming from Europe, shooting the ball like crazy. Their big men are taught to shoot the ball over there. Okay, that's part of their culture that came to the U.S. now. Now that you've seen the last 15, 20 years, these big guys just throwing up the threes all the goddamn time. That's a European thing.
Yeah.
And so that's Steph is just good now what he's doing now. But
was Dirk in the league before Steph?
I
think
so. Yeah.
And he shot threes too.
Yeah. That's what they teach over there. That's what they teach in Europe. Their big guys are shooting guys. Their big guys don't play like they did here in America, which changed the game in America, unfortunately. Because now big guys are expected to shoot.
We just say, man, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Do y'all feel like foreign players are better than American players? Do y'all think USA still play the best basketball?
It's given another 5 years. I can say the European players will take over. It's coming,
Mike. It's close. It's closer than some people might want to admit. I think because you look at the last 5 MVPs or something like that. Or you know what I'm saying? Just look at the last 5 with Shea, with Joker, with Embiid, with Giannis. You know what I'm saying? They've been the best players in the league. I ain't gonna say best players, but they've been getting the MVPs the last few seasons, right? So you're like, well, but as a whole, I wouldn't say. As a whole, I wouldn't say, but it's closer than what a lot of people might want to.
I think that's why everybody is really on Bronson right now, because he's American focused now, an American guy that won the MVP in the championship, just won the finals. And we can relate to him as being an American player. That's why I think he's beloved now as much as he is now. Because you can't go nowhere.
He look like a normal guy. He don't look like a basketball player. He ain't 6'7", 6'8". You know what I'm saying? He's like average height type dude. Like, damn, he up there winning championships,
Right. We can relate to him better. Right.
And I don't base the great players based on region and location and all that. It's just a matter of what's inside you. So right now, they winning MVPs, but I still wouldn't say that it's about region to me. It's not. It's just about what you got inside you. So, at some point, the paradigm going to shift.
Expound on that a little bit more, Clayton. Go a little bit more.
Yeah, I just think at some point, the paradigm going to shift. I think sooner or later, I think American players will wind up, emerging again and different. I just don't think it's about region. Now, you can say that playing pro ball at an earlier age might make it easier for them in the NBA in terms of the adjustment. But now you got rookies coming in like Harper and stuff like that. That's pro ready with the rule changes and stuff. They making a great impact on the league as well. So I can't base it on region. I just say, it is what it is. It's like, I just think it'll always be individual based to me, not European versus American.
Well, let me say this.
Okay, Mike.
In my opinion, I think it's region because of the style of play, right? Europe has not given us and not only is it the style of play, but when you look at, take for instance, like the prototypical point guard, like before it used to be 6'4". You talking about Chauncey Billups. You talking about what's the guy name? Jason Kidd. You talking about Brandon Roy. You talking about Jason Williams dude. That's a prototypical NBA point guard, 6'4" and in between, like 6'3" and 6'5", right? You don't have a European basketball player that has that type of that's 6'5", athletic like that, and can play that style of basketball. That's what I'm looking at. It's their style of play. When they come over here, they have to have a built-in advantage. They gotta either be bigger. Well, really, basically, that's all they can be. That's why you got Luka playing guard. How tall is Luka? Like what? 6'8", 6'9"?
I thought it was like 6'7", but he up there though. Yeah.
So they about 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". And the Joker, I think you gotta find ways to put them in positions where they can be successful. Whereas though, you can get a 6'4" guard, 6'5" guard.
I don't know.
The style of play
just froze up. Well, see, let me say this because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that goes on in basketball that's relevant to the situation right now. When you invest what the NBA has invested in going worldwide, just like baseball went worldwide, you know what I'm saying? And when you do stuff like that, you're bound to, the international players want to play for the U.S. team because that's two ways. You can make more money. Well, you can make a lot of money, but your exposure because you're playing the best competition. Okay. Now the NBA is the only sport that changed their ways of playing to fit European players. Now look at baseball. We all know the Dominican and South American and all that has tons of great baseball players. Okay. They're in the baseball international rules right now, but they still have the same bases that they kept from the beginning. Basketball changed their rules, changed their faces, and changed the way that you play the game to fit that European thing. Prime example, the European step. That was a travel as long as I've been playing basketball. That was a travel. Now all of a sudden, it's not a travel. It's actually a European two-step. So it's like the NBA fit their league to make it better for the world, instead of keeping it the same way and make the world fit them. And that's what we're talking about.
Listen, man, you say that right. I was watching the highlight clip, and y'all remember that referee Earl Strom, right? Everybody loved him back in the day, had that white hair.
Yeah.
And Dominique Wilkins came down and did a Euro step, right? He did a Euro step, and he called it. And Dominique said, that's only 2 steps. He said, Dominique, you can't do that. He said, you can't do that. He said, that's only 2 steps, right? And he said, you can't do that, right? So even like something is still 2 steps, no, you can't do that, right? Even if it's 2 steps, you can't do that. Yeah.
They doing 2 steps to either the left. Now they doing 2 steps to the right. You got LaMelo Ball. He'll pick the ball up and take 2 steps back.
Yeah, man, right.
They call it a gather step now.
Yeah. Like,
so that's what I'm saying. The NBA changed to fit the narrative of the world to make them worldwide. They didn't have to do that, but that's the way that's what they did. So that's what we're getting.
And for years,
we're getting what they changed.
They had to change the rules so these guys could play and be effective in the league. Mike was saying
That's all it is. They changed it so they can be effective. So the world players can be more effective in the league.
That zone defense is definitely something I think they did to help them because they couldn't keep up. They couldn't stay in front of guys. That lateral movement wasn't as fast, and they couldn't stay in front of guys. So I think they definitely Put that zone.
And then
Zone D.
and Clayton, you're right, because imagine transition defense. Who is Wemby catching in transition? If they playing man, who is he catching?
Everybody. Wemby only got to take 5 steps.
But what I'm saying to you, if you're playing man defense and you got a smaller center and Wemby has to stick him in man, so that means he's under the board, and you get a break, Wemby ain't catching that smaller center.
Yeah, I guess you can spread out in front of him. But I'm just saying, but when you're the big, you just get back until everybody else get home. You just get back.
Right. I was talking about transitional defense, though. My bad. I was talking defensive wise.
Right. But
I think he moves better than most centers in the league, so he should have an advantage when it comes to that. When you're playing just one-on-one based on your matchups. But I feel you.
Yeah, but I mean, if he moved good for a center, you know what I mean? Yeah, but Brunson proved that he can't stay in front of Brunson, though.
Man, a couple times, man, we talk about Wemby, he has to get stronger. He has to get, where he had more endurance too, man. In them games, man, he got tired, man. You could tell he got tired. A couple times, man, he didn't even get off the ground. Like the contested shot and stuff like that, man. He got winded down the stretch. So that's just.
And he got to learn to play to his strengths too, though, Tom. You're not a guard. You 7 feet 5 inches tall.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not, I don't care how much you put him on the treadmill all day. He's not gonna be able to keep up with no guard.
Yeah.
He just not.
And what people might not realize, man, you exert. Sometimes I'm just talking about Wemby. Him being a big guy, he want to handle the ball a lot. You exert a lot of energy doing that.
When you dribble, you do.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
First thing a coach will tell you, you pass it. Dribbling takes your energy. My stepdad used to say it all the time. Don't dribble so much. You're weighing yourself out. You lose your legs with that.
I never used to bring the ball up. You know what I mean? I pass it to the point guard.
Right.
You
go get in your spot. You know what I'm saying? You go get in your spot. Yeah, but he bring the ball.
That's old school basketball right there. That's old school.
I think Wemby did play to his strengths, though, Mike. It's just right now his strengths is what it is. But like you guys made the point a few weeks ago, he got to develop a go-to shot, something to preserve his energy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs are young. You know what I'm saying? Wemby is young. Yeah. They did what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If now we got to figure out. Now we hoping that they'll learn from this run that they had this year, what they need to compete next year. That's it. I mean, because if you really look at it, there's only going to be one winner at the end of the year, regardless. And Wemby played he got him there, and it is what it is.
They definitely the Knicks were back, man. Yeah. As long as don't nobody get injured, anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
While we on the subject, I gotta give Becky Hammond a lot of love because she came out and she said I was wrong. So I'm gonna give her some love for that.
She said she was wrong about.
She admitted it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being wrong sometimes. Just while we was on the subject, I know she'll never see this podcast, but I was bragging her. She came out and said I was wrong. So that's what's
like. Prove me wrong. She said that's what I need. So just prove me wrong.
Yep. But they was waiting on it. Yeah. Every time she came to a press conference, they was waiting on it. But she stopped one of the last week or something said, before I go any further, I was wrong.
Well, I was wrong too, because like typically you don't, as a guard, somebody under 6'1", you don't lead a team to a championship. Somebody. But my man Hammer said, how y'all feel about players only playing one side of the ball? I noticed a lot of these Euro players only play one side offense, like Luka and the Joker, to a lesser extent, right? And so, that's to me, I think that's the difference between some of the European players too, and the players.
Let Uncle Clayton go.
I think Giannis plays both sides of the ball now.
Yeah, I can't say that. I
think Giannis plays both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I can't say that.
And I think Shea plays both sides of the ball too.
Yeah, I can't say that. Yeah,
Shea Gilgeous.
Yeah, I think he plays both sides of the ball too now.
Yeah.
Shea is
and playing one side of the ball, I bet you can go throughout NBA history and find some players that was bad defenders, lacked on D, was more offensive minded, but their team picked them up, stuff like that. But Yeah, I just don't think you can let Luka be the example for everybody,
He the poster
for
boy.
all the
Well,
European players.
let me ask y'all this then.
He the poster boy of them, though, Clay. He the
Yeah, he the poster boy, but you can't let that be the example.
Let me ask y'all this. Then let me say this. Then what about like your franchise ball player? Like what franchise ball player do you like historically like was not really a good defender?
Magic wasn't
Like
a great
Larry
defender.
Bird.
Magic wasn't a great defender.
I think Magic played pretty
He
good.
wasn't no great defender,
but
he was a great player.
See, back then you could hide Magic though.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
Yeah.
put
Because you weren't going in the center because you had Kareem in there. You
Right.
wasn't going into the center.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing that. It's
Whatever deficiencies he had, Kareem would erase.
right.
Yeah, Kareem would erase. Yeah, so
See, to me, there's Gary Payton to me was an elite defender.
Yes.
Okay, he was an elite defender.
Yes.
I don't even call Mike a elite defender because Mike is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is one of those guys. He wasn't. I didn't consider him an elite defender.
Man,
I mean, I didn't consider him an elite defender. That's what it
fair.
is.
That's your opinion.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because Michael Jordan, he was quick. Okay, so here a lot of times Michael Jordan would pickpocket somebody from the rear. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things you see Jordan do.
Go ahead, finish making your point, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just to me, it's more like elite defenders are those that we know defended the ball. Gary Payton is the first person that comes to mind as an elite defender to me. Gary Payton was the glove for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a great scorer and everything. He scored when he wanted to, but that Seattle team that went to the finals. Sean Pippen went to the finals once, right?
They played against Chicago in the championship.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot of great defenders that we can put that monostab on. That's been
tough. It's tough to be elite at both ends of the court. It's
right.
tough. Like most, as a matter of fact, you're the exception to the rule. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because most players not going to be great offense, and it take a lot of energy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, to be a great defender. Then you got to go down and you got to be able to score. That's like exceptional. So you're gonna have a handful of. You know what I mean? You could think of defenders though. You know what I mean? You could think of people like Bruce Bowen. He's a straight defender. Dennis Rodman, straight defender.
Joe Dumars was a great defender.
Great defender, yeah. So
Charles Oakley, great defender.
Yeah, but and then once like
I saw that facial expression.
Hey, Clay,
I think Scottie Pippen was a great defender.
That's the one that pops in my mind. Like man just said, Gary Payton pops in his mind. When I think great defender, I always think Scottie.
Yeah, Scottie was a great.
I always think Scottie.
Yeah.
I think Scottie was a better defender than Mike. I think Mike got a, you know what I mean? I think Scottie was a better defender than Mike. Like
I always lean towards, and you always say David Robinson, Olajuwon and stuff. A lot of people lean towards centers. I always lean towards the perimeter players because, you got to deal with somebody out there who got that ball and they can do things with it. And I always lean towards the perimeter defenders more so than the post guy. Even though everybody knows Olajuwon was a great defensive player.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between defending the basket with your back to the basket, or defending when you're looking at the player itself, or defending somebody that's backing into the basket. There's a difference in between the two.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's dribbling the ball and then they're doing all that takes a lot of energy out of you. Because if they moving left, you got to move left. They moving right, you got to move right. But if they're bouncing the ball to the back like Shaq and them used to do, get the ball down in the center part and bounce and push their way back and then put up the ball, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference in the defensive styles.
But which one you think is harder?
The Scottie Pippen part, defending somebody looking face to face at him,
going downhill, somebody coming downhill on you.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest. Yeah,
I think they both got their equal challenges because
take that Shaq example out.
Yeah, because when you get in that physical contact, that take a hell of a lot out of you.
No, I'm not taking that Shaq out because Olajuwon did. Olajuwon did it.
we talked about this before one time, me and Clayton was saying, but see, that wasn't prime Diesel though. What Mike was saying was Clayton was saying a few minutes ago, like, I think that's something that Diesel learned from. And, you know, he came back and he was a better. That Lakers Diesel was prime Diesel. I don't think King had that success against prime Diesel.
It's one guy that I saw that handled Diesel and shut him down. That was Dennis Rodman. And that was prime Shaq.
When was that?
The second run. So when Mike came back to the Bulls and then they picked up Rodman, they lost to Orlando, and the next year they swept them. Rodman's assignment was Shaquille.
When do you think Shaq was in his prime?
I still think that was prime Shaq. That when they had that Orlando with what's his guy name? Dennis. What's the guy?
Penny Hardaway.
Dennis Scott. All of them. Yeah. I thought Shaq was
Horace Grant.
Yeah, Horace Grant. All of them. I thought Shaq was peaking. Yeah.
So that's when they lost to. That's when they lost to Houston.
Stop naming all his teammates. I said prime Diesel. One was prime Diesel.
I said that Orlando team, he was prime to me. So that's when prime lasts for a certain span.
So when he was with the Lakers, was he still in his prime?
Yes, he was still prime. Yeah, the first 3 run with the Lakers, them years on Orlando, I think he had like a 7-year span where he was prime. Absolute.
Okay.
Yeah. He said, "Stop naming all his teammates." I'm trying to give you a time frame, bro.
When he Anderson was there,
so always sneaking in them little jabs and shit, man. I'm trying to give you a time frame.
Prime Diesel, man. I think Prime Diesel. I think Prime Diesel when he left Orlando, when he went to Lakers, when he did that 3-time Finals MVP in a row, when they won the 3P. I think that was prime Diesel. You know what I'm saying? But nobody short of, I'm talking about defending Diesel. I ain't saying they better or nothing like that. I don't think nobody is defending Diesel one-on-one in the history. You know what I mean? My uncle was gonna get mad at me about this. I don't think nobody, maybe Wilt probably could defend prime Diesel one-on-one. Other than that, I don't think nobody defending prime.
Well, I'll say if the referees called the game right, you can defend him. Yeah. Because Shaq, a lot of offensive fouls. He played bully ball. Poor Mutombo. He was knocking Mutombo out with elbows every time he spent. If they call the game right, you can defend him.
Yeah, Mutombo didn't have a chance.
He didn't have a chance.
Man, he was abusing the Dikembe down there. He wasn't called nothing, man.
Nothing. Yeah, that was nothing. He would take his back arm and wrap Mutombo and just throw him completely out the box.
Right. They let Shaq move motherfuckers off their spot. They let Shaq burrow into. They let Shaq do it. I ain't mad at it, but that's what they did. So
man. He abused the Dikembe down there.
Because it ain't like Shaq's skill set was all that great.
Right.
Oh no, Shaq he couldn't shoot a free throw. So you know his skill set was limited. It was catch and dunk.
Yeah. But see, Rodman was timing up for him. Because Rodman didn't mind all that physicality. He didn't mind that bump. Rodman was taking him down with him, getting an offensive foul. Rodman was with it.
The thing that made Rodman game good against Shaq was if Shaq ever brought the ball down, Rodman would grab it. He was quick enough to grab it. If Shaq ever brought it down, he was quick enough to grab it. Where those other centers, if Shaq bring it down to get his momentum to go up and dunk, they couldn't do it. They couldn't just stop him.
Shit. One of them was serious.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I love to talk and chat and everything, but I have to go. I have a tea time. I have a tea time at 4:00, and I got to get ready.
Yeah.
You go to the driving range?
No, I'm going to the golf course today. I got a late tea time today.
He say tea time, that means he got a round.
Yeah, I got an 18 round today, baby.
Before you leave, I want to ask you a quick question before you leave, man.
Yeah.
You brought it up, and I want to think. What determines, because this is your wheelhouse, what determines a good golf course as opposed to a not or a bad golf course? What would be the determining factors? Because if I go on the course, I'm like, oh man, this is good. And you're like, no, that's trash. So how did you determine which is a good golf course as opposed to one that's not?
Well, the first thing you can tell if they cut their grass. Okay, you got some public golf courses, especially in Baltimore, that won't cut their grass. Okay, and next is the greens. If the greens are nice and there's no brownness on the greens, no holes, and it looks good, it's called greens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's fresh and looking green, it's good. If it's brown and looking dead, okay, you know it's gonna run real slow. It's gonna be bumpy and everything.
Okay.
And then the last,
is Lake Clifton a good course?
No.
Yeah.
Clifton Park.
It ain't. Yeah, Clifton Park. No. But I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what a lot of golfers a lot of amateurs don't realize. If they got a good clubhouse that sells a lot of beer, that's a good course right there.
Yeah.
That's a good course.
Do you consider the difficulty of the course as being good or bad?
No.
One that challenges the game?
No, I'm not that good of a golfer to even talk about how good the course is.
That's fair.
As far as my game, and listen, I can go to a course that has all par threes on it and still get the same goddamn scores.
I got you.
That's how bad I am. So if they got par fives on it,
Mike asked you about Clifton. What about Forest Park? Is that a good one?
No.
No.
Forest Park don't cut their grass. Forest Park do not cut their grass. I'm gonna tell you, Mount Pleasant is one of the best courses in Baltimore City. Yeah. Mount Pleasant.
I ain't familiar with that.
Northern Parkway over there by Northern Parkway?
Yeah. The PGA even played a tournament there one time. Yeah.
That's one of the best courses in Baltimore.
What about that one down South Baltimore? Is that a good one?
That's Carroll Park. I was going to tell you that. Carroll Park, they keep their greens, they keep their grass and stuff cut. The only thing about Carroll Park is they got a lot of ducks. Okay. So we know what ducks bring. We know what livestock animals bring to a golf course. Right. But the good part about Carroll Park is it's cheap and it's only 9 holes. So if you're looking to begin playing golf, that's where you want to go, because it's not a lot of stuff around that keeps you from like a lot of sand bunkers and stuff like that. It's not a lot of that. So it's easier to find your ball. For new beginners, the hardest part of the game is finding your ball. That's the hardest part of the game. Mm-hmm. And the more wide open the course is, the easier it is to find your ball. So when you go to a course or something like that, especially as a beginner, you want to see how difficult it's going to be to find your ball. Because when you lose, my first year playing, I used to lose like 20, 25 balls a game.
Wow.
And balls ain't cheap. And I'm telling y'all laugh, man. Wait till y'all get on the course, then y'all be like, all right, I see what E was talking about, losing the ball. Because you can hit the ball one time and that should go into the woods somewhere or hit a house or something, and you got to use another ball.
You ever played Pine Ridge?
Great course. Yeah. Pine Ridge, great course. Yes. Yeah. I play Pine Ridge about 5 times a year.
Where is that, man? Where is that?
Pine Ridge.
Cockeysville.
Yeah.
It's off Padonia Road. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you another golf course that's really good that I just started playing. There's one out in Essex. Okay. That is really good because it has waterfronts on it. I didn't even know Essex had waterfronts like that. But damn it, they got waterfronts out there. And it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful course.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, again.
Yeah, it's been great, fellas. Yeah, my phone got charged up. It's been great.
All right, man.
Next week.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Y'all enjoy y'all day, man. Peace out.
Hey, next week.
Peace out to the chat. Peace out to the chat. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Can we talk soccer next week, fellas? Can some of y'all watch some of these FIFA games so we can talk soccer?
Yeah. I can watch it, but I don't know what I'm looking at. But that's what's up.
Let's be international. Let's talk some soccer. Hopefully, Jim get back and we can talk some soccer.
Yeah.
Get that FIFA going.
Yeah.
Because you know that FIFA's dominating sports right now, man. Dominating TV and sports everywhere. They got 100,000 fans coming to each one of these goddamn games. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, gentlemen.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday morning at 11 a.m., man. We'll be right here. Like I said, appreciate y'all. All right, Tom, I'll holler at you.
The water would go on the roof.